Semper Fi, everyone. Welcome to the latest installment of Recon Jack. I'm your host, U.S. Marine veteran and historian Chuck Lynch. On today's episode, I'll discuss the birth of the United States Marine Corps. More accurately, the Corps' predecessor, which was founded prior to the American Revolutionary War. Two of the major topics of discussion for today will be Tun Tavern, the birthplace of what will become the Marine Corps, as well as Samuel Nicholas, the first officer commissioned in the Continental Marines. Now, I have a question for everybody out there. Have you ever downed too many drinks with your buddies that you managed to create the universe's deadliest fighting force? This dude certainly did just that. And I'm not kidding about that universe's deadliest fighting force part either. I mean, does anybody remember what U.S. Marine Captain Stephen Hiller did around Independence Day 1996?
Welcome to Earth.
What about a squad of Marines under command of Staff Sergeant Michael Nance and what they did during the 2011 Battle of Los Angeles? Tun Tavern was a tavern and brewery in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which was a founding of early places for a number of notable groups in the U.S. history. It is traditionally regarded as a site where the United States Marine Corps held its first recruitment drive during the American Revolution. Tun Tavern was also a significant meeting place for other groups and individuals. It is also regarded as one of the many birthplaces of Masonic teachings in America. In 1756, Benjamin Franklin used the inn as a recruitment gathering point for the Pennsylvania militia as it prepared to fight Native American uprisings. The tavern later hosted a meeting of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and the Continental Congress. In October 1775, a 7-man naval committee, including John Adams, appointed by Congress, crafted articles of war to build America's first naval fleet. According to tradition, Tun Tavern was where the United States Marines held their first recruitment drive, and on 10 November 1775, the Second Continental Congress commissioned the innkeeper and former Quaker Samuel Nicholas to raise 2 battalions of Marines in Philadelphia. The tavern's manager, Robert Mullen, was a chief Marine recruiter, making him the first recruiter to lie by filling someone's head with tales of grandeur. The legend places its first recruiting post at Tun Tavern. Historian and retired Marine Corps Brigadier General Edward Howard Simmons surmises that it was more likely the Conestoga Wagon, which was a tavern owned by the Nicholas family. I'll leave that debate up to you devil dogs and civvies to discuss in the comments below. The first Continental Marine Company was composed of 100 Rhode Islanders commanded by Captain Nicholas. Nicholas was born in Pennsylvania in 1744, the youngest of 3 to Anthony and Mary Nicholas. His mother died when he was only 6 years of age. His father was a blacksmith, unfriended by the Philadelphia meeting in 1749 for evil conduct and frequent drinking strong liquor to excess, and he died 2 years later. Sounds to me like young Nicholas was doomed to become a hard-drinking and tough-fighting Marine from the get-go. He was taken in then by his uncle Atwood Shute, the mayor of Philadelphia, from 1756 to 1758. In January 1752, his uncle enrolled him at the Academy and College of Philadelphia, now the University of Pennsylvania, the secondary school and counterpart of the college. Nicholas was a student there until the end of 1759. While at school, he also became a Freemason who belonged to a Masonic lodge that often met at Tun Tavern. Now, what's always been interesting to me is that the United States Marine Corps recruiting station in State College, Pennsylvania is right next door to Lodge number 700 of free and accepted Masons. If you think that's a coincidence, go ahead and drop a comment there. Let me know. On 28 November 1775, Nicholas was commissioned a Captain of Marines by the Second Continental Congress, which was the first commission issued in the Continental Navy service. 18 days afterwards, the Continental Congress resolved on 10 November 1775 that 2 battalions of Marines be raised consisting of 1 colonel, 2 lieutenant colonels, 2 majors, and other officers, as usual in other regiments, that they consist of an equal number of privates with other battalions, that particular care be taken that no persons be appointed to officers or enlisted into said battalions, but such are as good seamen or so acquainted with maritime affairs as to be able to serve by sea when required, and that they be enlisted and commissioned to serve for and during the present war with Great Britain and the colonies, unless dismissed by order of Congress, that they be distinguished by the names of the 1st and 2nd battalions of Marines. Captain Nicholas no sooner received official confirmation of his appointment to the office than he established recruiting headquarters in Philadelphia. By January 1776, having recruited a sufficient number of Marines for the vessels that comprise the Continental Navy and the waters of Philadelphia, Captain Nicholas assumed command of the Marine detachment on board the USS Alfred. With Commodore Essex Hopkins in command, the Alfred set sail from Philadelphia on the morning of 4 January 1776. Following month witnessed a baptismal fire of the Marines during the Battle of Nassau. Lord Dunmore, the Royal Governor of Virginia, had collected a store of arms and provisions at New Providence in the Bahamas. Dunmore's forces had done a great deal of injury along the colonial coast, especially the shore of Virginia. Continental Navy Commodore Hopkins had been ordered to proceed to the Bahamas and from there to operate against the forces of Lord Dunmore. Commodore Hopkins decided to make an attack on New Providence, capture the enemy's stores, and destroy its supply. Captain Nicholas was placed in command of the landing party of 234 Marines. Now that sounds like quite a fighting force. This attack actually was the first successful landing engaged by the Continental Marines and saw the capture of Nassau on 3 March 1776 without a single shot fired. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Recon Jack. Perhaps you learned something new. I may have only again scratched the surface of this topic, so stay tuned for more episodes as I continue to explore the hallowed histories, traditions, and individuals of the United States Marine Corps. And also, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. I certainly look forward to reading your feedback. And until next time, Semper Fi and carry on.